Look at that! Whoa! That's a meteor!
I'm going to talk about an asteroid. It's called 2024 YR4. That asteroid is headed straight towards the Earth.
About half the size of a football field is too close for comfort.
NASA says a newly discovered asteroid.
NASA just announced that there is a massive asteroid that is going to be hitting Earth in very short time. Now, the scientists at NASA have now officially confirmed that this asteroid is going to be moving away from Earth as of now, but it's going to be returning in the year 2028. And when it returns to Earth in 2028, this asteroid is said to be causing one of the most devastating destructions that we humans are not ready for.
Let me tell you, the most likely scenario is that by the time we lose sight of the object, when it will come back in 2028 and we reobserve it, at that time being so much time enough for us to determine whether, let's say, it will be impacting or not completely. So it will be a 0 or 100%.
So the scientists has now reported that in 2028, this asteroid named the City Killer could be having either 15% or 100% chance of this asteroid striking Earth down. And according to some of the reports, which are shared by the NASA scientists, it seems like when this new asteroid was first shown up in 2021, they calculated that it was not going to have any chances for it to collide with our Earth. Over the years, it seems like the chances for this asteroid to be colliding has gone way up. And they also believe that this could even have 100% chance of completely destroying cities beyond limits that we can comprehend.
It's estimated to be travelling at around 15 times the speed of a high-velocity bullet.
That means that it's going to be traveling as fast as a bullet from your rifle. In the year 2032, the asteroid might have 100% chance of striking Earth down. Now, we don't know which country or which city is going to be affected by this, but as far as what NASA has confirmed, the destruction that this asteroid is going to be causing is way beyond what we humans are ready for. The reason why they named it the City Killer is because the asteroid is as big as a football field, which is about 360 feet long and 160 feet wider, covering about 57,600 square feet or 1.32 acres of landmass. Now, that sure is one hell of an asteroid, and if it strikes down, and what kind of a devastation are we humans going to be having when this asteroid strikes down? Now, according to NASA, it seems like when the asteroid starts getting closer to the atmosphere of our Earth, the speed and the momentum of this asteroid is going to make the asteroid burn in the atmosphere, which means that it's not only going to be a plain rock that's going to crash into Earth, it also means that the rock is going to be burning hot. So any field or any ground that it's going to be touching is not only going to get destroyed, but it's also going to be burnt into ashes. Just take a look at what NASA has just confirmed about the amount of destruction that's going to be coming with it.
The odds of an asteroid hitting Earth are increasing by the day, but only just. NASA declared there was a 1.6% chance of a newly discovered asteroid smashing our planet in the next decade.
So the next decade is pretty much in the year 2032. So it's not very long. We are very close for this asteroid to be impacting our Earth.
But within 24 hours, that number climbed to 1.9% after more data became available. If the asteroid does hit Earth, it'll be just before Christmas in 2032.
Now, previously, the scientists at NASA, they declared that the asteroid only has about 0.1% chances of colliding with Earth. But just within 24 hours, it seems like the percentage of the collision of this asteroid has increased by 1.2%. And they've also predicted, by the way that this asteroid's chances are increasing so rapidly within 24 hours of time, this could eventually mean that by the year 2028, we might reach to 100% of collision guarantee, which NASA says that it's going to be happening in the year 2032.
Is an asteroid going to hit Earth in 2032? An asteroid that could be as big as a football field has a small chance of hitting Earth in 2032. Now, without context, that's a terrifying sentence. The rock, known as 2024 YR4, about twice the size of a meteor that hit Russia in 2013.
Now, keep this in mind, as we have spoken before, the rock is as big as a football field.
But it's not extinction event big. and the chances of it hitting Earth are really small. But should that probability trend the wrong way, in 2022, NASA ran a test to see if they could redirect the course of an asteroid with rockets. And it worked really well.
So good news is that NASA already tried to use rockets on these asteroids, and they've said that the impact on the asteroid kind of just changed its direction a very tiny bit. So this obviously means that if the satellites are able to impact or able to shoot rockets at this new city killer asteroid, then most probably it might change the course, whereas the asteroid could break into multiple different pieces, and this could end up falling apart on different parts of our Earth. And not only there are going to be multiple pieces, but at the same time, it's going to be very unstoppable, as there are so many different pieces of asteroids and it could completely destroy many different parts of Earth. Now, Astro-Kobe also has some very interesting things that he has spoken about the new asteroid that's going to be coming out.
It will probably scare you, so be prepared. Astronomers have discovered a 60-meter or 200-foot wide asteroid that has a 2.3% chance of impacting Earth on December 22nd.
So the chances went from 1.2% to 2.3% in just 24 hours. How rapidly everything is changing as of now.
2032. Here are the facts. This is now the most likely asteroid to collide with Earth that we know of. Think about rolling 2 dice and getting the same number on both. The chances of that happening are about the same odds as this asteroid hitting Earth.
So that kind of means that we might even have a 100% chance of this asteroid hitting our Earth. And the only way we can know if the percentage is going to be changing or not is to wait until 2028. And we might either receive a good news or a horrible news that the asteroid is 100% going to be hitting our Earth.
So if it does hit us, what happens? Well, it depends what the asteroid is made of. If it is made out of stone, it will enter our atmosphere traveling at 17 kilometers per second.
I mean,
and
asteroids
explode
are made
in
out
the
of stone,
upper
right?
atmosphere, creating an air blast that will essentially flatten all the trees and buildings in the surrounding area.
That's
but
deadly.
if the asteroid is made of iron, the story gets much worse. It will punch straight through the atmosphere, smashing into the ground with an impact energy of over 20 megatons of TNT. That is about 1,500 times more energy than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
Now, this could eventually mean that we're not just having an asteroid that's falling out of the sky, but then this is going to turn into a mini nuclear weapon that's going to be destroying the land masses, causing massive earthquakes, massive tsunamis, and even the core of the Earth is going to be so shaken up by the impact that this asteroid is going to be causing.
So where will the asteroid hit? Well, astronomers have run simulations, and it seems like the asteroid could impact pretty much anywhere along this line.
So this asteroid could either impact in the Pacific Ocean, which could then trigger a massive tsunami and earthquake all the way in the United States and Mexico and Canada. But then there are much more likely chances that this asteroid could also directly impact in 3 different nations. One being Brazil, Argentina, and then we got Africa, Iran, Israel, and all these Asian countries. And also it's going to be heading all the way towards India and China. These are the countries that are in extreme danger as of now. So this asteroid could be falling apart in any of these regions, and it's going to be causing massive havoc. Now, Sky News actually gave us some updates about the situation as well.
1% chance of hitting the Earth in December 2032. The minor planet is being closely monitored by the European Space Agency.
Scientists are monitoring an asteroid.
So this is how the asteroid basically looks like. It's pretty much just a rock-like substance, which is massive in size. Now, obviously, they don't really know if the material in which this asteroid is made of is either a rock or this could be a metal. And the scientists are fearing that if it turns out to be metal, then it's going to be causing a lot more damage than a rock would.
Asteroid that has a chance, albeit small, of hitting Earth. But there's no need to panic, at least not just yet. Asteroid 2020.
That's the catch, chat. That's the catch.
YR4 has an almost 99% chance of safely passing Earth on December 22nd, 2032.
So previously it was 99%, but right now it's 97%. Keep that in mind.
It's currently moving away from the planet, but will return in 2028. That's why, since it was first identified as a threat in December of last year, it's being closely monitored by the European Space Agency.
Let me tell you, the most likely scenario is that by the time we lose sight of the object, April this year, the impact probabilities will have lowered enough not to worry about this object anymore.
The scientists are still saying that as far as what they have been doing research about this asteroid, it's still not something that you should panic about. But then 2028 is going to be the year when we will finally know if it's going to be striking or maybe not. Take a look at this interview, which was done by Sky News with one of the NASA scientists, and he gives us a better explanation as to how dangerous is this asteroid going to be.
White House joining us now. Hi, David. How worried should we be?
I think this has the potential to be very serious indeed. The current odds on this rock striking us in 2032 are down to 1 in 67, which is unacceptable to ignore. We only have...
He's actually saying that we need to take this thing seriously because it's not something that's just joking or just taking it as 97% chances of it missing or whatever. But obviously the percentage of it crashing is going up every single hour.
Another couple of months to observe this rock before it goes out of sight. Now, what will probably happen is that the orbit will be refined and it'll go down to a very, very low probability. It won't hit us at all. But should it remain somewhere around about 1 in 67 or even 1 in 100, then we face a problem because we will not see this rock again until 2028. And that's the time.
The scientists are saying that the rock is going to be disappearing in a couple of months from now, and it's only going to appear back on site in the year 2028. So until then, they're not going to know at what pace or the speed or direction this rock is going to be traveling in all these years once it disappears from our line of sight. So when it appears back, that's when we're going to have one of the scariest news that the world is about to hear.
So we've got some very serious decisions to make. We cannot ignore this rock. It's the highest probability of an impact I can recall. And it has the potential, the possibility for being an emergency for planet Earth.
So it seems like this is now being called by NASA as a massive emergency that all the government should come together and decide about how they're going to be deflecting this thing, because if they don't, that's going to cause massive havoc in most of the big countries. And obviously, when you say that the rock is as big as a football field, that's not a joke, because it's not just going to crash and then just stay in one location. It's obviously going to crash and it's going to break into multiple different pieces, and those pieces are then going to be crashing into all different parts of the world, and this could cause a massive earthquakes like we have never ever seen before. And if not earthquake, if it falls to the sea, then it's obviously going to cause massive tsunamis like we have never seen before. Now obviously, when it comes to things like these, people usually take Bible prophecies as a reference of what's actually coming up. And according to Bible, it seems like in Revelation chapter 8 verse 8 to 9, which talks about the second trumpet judgment day, where the second angel sounded his trumpet, and something like a great mountain that's burning with fire was thrown into the sea. A third of the sea was turned into blood, and a third of the living creatures in the sea ended up dead. And this basically describes a great mountain that is going to be burning with fire, being casted into the sea, which could be symbolizing the asteroid that's going to be striking Earth. Now also in Revelation chapter 6 verse 13 to 14, it says, during the sixth seal judgment, the stars of the sky fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its unripe figs when shaken by the strong winds. The sky receded, and every mountain and island were removed from its place. Now, some believe that this could be the reference as a meteor shower or a celestial bodies impacting the earth. And again in Revelation chapter 8 verse 10 to 11, where the third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star blazing like a torch fell from the sky, and a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star being wormwood, a third of the waters turned bitter, and many people died from the waters that had become bitter. Some people have already interpreted this stuff as one of the meteor showers or asteroids hitting on Earth, and due to the asteroid burning up in our atmosphere, this means that it's going to be contaminated with a lot of carbon dioxide, which could eventually end up contaminating the water that we're going to be drinking. Where Jesus prophesied about the end times, where he said that there will be signs in the sun, moon, and the stars on Earth. Nations will be anguished and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. And this passage apparently speaks of the disturbance that is going to be caused in heavens, which some interpret as celestial events. So obviously, when it comes to Bible prophecies, it definitely seems like most of the things that's happening around us in the world have already proven that the prophecies are coming true. As you already know, the Euphrates River is now almost completely dry, which was one of the prophecies that was mentioned in the Bible that's going to be happening before the second coming of Christ. And the prophecy also said that deserts are going to turn into forest, and there will also be springs of water that will be blasting out of desert where there is no chances of water existing. And another prophecy that was mentioned, which is supposed to be a sign before Jesus comes back again, is that he will turn the dry and desert lands into a place where it's going to be snowing. And if you look at the news right now, you obviously know that there is a snowstorm that is currently impacting Saudi Arabia, and everything in the desert for the very first time in the history of humankind is now getting frozen. So what does this all mean? So obviously we can't really ignore that these prophecies that have already been mentioned in the Bible are indeed coming true. And now that we see this asteroid, and a lot of people, a lot of Christians have already been prophesying about this stuff, this could eventually mean that there is something big that's coming up with this asteroid named the City Killer. Now, I hope you guys found this video useful. If you guys did, please make sure to go ahead, drop a like on this video. It really helps the channel. And also, if you drop a like on this video, the algorithm will suggest this video to more people so that they can know about the truth of the Gospels and everything that's going on in the world. So your support is very, very much appreciated. If you guys could just take a few seconds by dropping a like, it really, really means a lot to me. Now, with that being said, I would love to know, what do you think about everything that's going on? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and I will go ahead, read them, and reply to as many of you guys as I possibly can. Now, with that being said, if you guys want to see more content like these, make sure to go ahead, subscribe, and turn the notifications on so you can always stay updated with my content every single day. So until then, fams, take it easy, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.